Hey everyone, what's going on? As you saw on the Facebook post a couple nights ago, I did mention doing a new deck list on Waijo Pro. So here it is today. I'm going to be talking about Jack Knights. So to start off, I do have a couple of replays to show you guys. So get right into that. So before we go any further, I'm going to actually go through the hand that there is. So first off is the field spell Scars Caused by the World Legacy. The main thing that makes this card so good is you discard one World Legacy or Jack Knight to draw a card. And this whole deck, it does work very well by putting cards in the grave. And it also has like a kind of gimmicky effect where you banish 6 knights from your graveyard or face up on your field and send all cards in your opponent's hand and extra deck to the grave. Super gimmicky effect, but if you pull it off, you basically win the game. Next up, all Jack Knight monsters have this effect where they special summon themselves if there's 2 or more cards in the same column, which you guys are about to see in a couple seconds. And after that, they all have a different effect down here. You'll see those effects just in a moment. So I discard Green Heights to draw, and then just go Fu into my decode. So right here, Jack Knight of the Flickering Flames effect, whenever a monster on my opponent's side of the field leaves the field because of, or is destroyed by battle, I can special summon a Jack Knight from my hand. So this card is super good. It's probably one of the best of the Jack Knights. Alright, so here's where some real shenanigans start up. This trap card is so good. So, to start off, it special summons a level 5 or higher monster from your grave when it's activated. And after that, every monster that your opponent controls that's in the same column as a Jack Knight, whenever they activate their effect, that effect's negated. So, right here, I have 3 Jack Knights, so any monster that's in the middle, in the inner left or the inner right, have their effects negated. Well, not negated, but like if they go to activate their effects, the effect just gets negated. So it's such a good card because like watch what he does. He like tries to just use his effects, and every time it's just negated. So he couldn't use that. He's gonna try to use Starving Venom, but it's not gonna work. So like a really good strategy with this is putting your Jack Knight in both extra deck spots, so that way if they try to make an extra deck monster, they just can't use the effects. Alright, so what happened there was when I activated Dimensional Barrier and it negated Starving Venom's effect, his attack didn't go back to 2800 like it should have. So that's kind of what happened there, in case you guys are like, why did he do D-Barrier, or why didn't his attack go back? It's probably just a bug on Waijo Pro 2's side. There has been a lot of issues I've noticed since using this. And there it goes, like, negating another effect. So, like, there's nothing this guy can do with his effects. He can't use any of his effects. Like, anytime he tries to use an effect, I just stop it. Like, this trap card is just insanely good. So what I did there was I tribute summon for Crimson Lotus, because if I did special summon and try to use this effect, which would destroy a monster in the same column as it, his Starving Venom would have destroyed all my monsters, all special summon monsters, so it wouldn't have been worth it. So I kind of like forced him not to use it to save his own monsters. But I think he may just like made a misplay there. Like, there's nothing that he could really do anyway. But like when he would go to special summon, it'd just be stopped. There's just nothing that he could do. Alright, so let's go to the next replay. Alright guys, so this time I'm kind of just gonna go over all the effects while it's going on. So first off, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my field spell, then I'm going to play it, get the draw. I drew into Tourmaline, which is really bad, but it happens. And then this one adds a banished Jack Knight to my hand and stops trap cards. So that's also like really good. And I have my trap to stop monster effects already set, so that way if he tries to like summon any kind of monster, I can just prevent it. So you can see that this guy's playing kind of cautious. Like, he put his monsters anywhere that wasn't in front of my Jack Knight, just to, like, avoid this card, and if this is what he thinks it is, you know? But, soon enough, you'll see that, like, nothing this guy does is going to help him. It's crazy. Like, this deck is absolutely insane. So you guys saw where I set Terraforming, just so I can get the 2 cards in a column special summon, and then activate to search my field spell. Like, it's so insane. Like, you literally plus by setting cards with this deck, and then you activate those same cards. Like, no deck does that. No deck can just plus off setting a card. I mean, unless, like, you can turbo out Ultimaya and have extra deck zones still. Like, no deck except this just pluses by setting a card face down. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, look at this. So, because of his Black Garden, I was able to special summon all of these, but also just because his deck is super consistent and just does this type of stuff. But, since I have 5 Jack Knights, all of his monsters, they cannot activate their effects. And if he tries to activate a trap, that doesn't activate either. Like, that's absolutely insane. Like, there's nothing this guy can do except, like, activate spells. And the reason that, the reason you guys aren't seeing a one that negates spells is actually because the card for it is really bad. Like, it's probably one of the worst cards for Jack Knights. So, he's just gonna go through all the stuff, try to get his effects, and he can't get anything. So, there's just really nothing this guy can do. I'm gonna banish Purple Dusk, because when it comes back, its attack isn't halved anymore, and I can just, like, power through his stuff. There was just nothing he can do, so he quit. He knew it. It was just so insane. Like, this deck is just... it's so brutal. Alright, so let's get to a deck profile. Alright guys, so this is the build that I'm playing. It's really fast, really consistent. With this deck, you always want to go turn 2, just so, like, you always have columns ready to go. Like, if you go first, it's really hard to play this deck, but when you go second, your field's already set up by your opponent. So first is the 1 Tourmaline, just for Brilliant Fusion. 3 Purple Dusk, this card is so good. Like, if your opponent targets any of your, Jack Knights with effects while this thing's on the field, you activate its effect and banish that monster and search a Jack Knight. So it makes your opponent essentially, like, waste a Castell, a 101, potentially a Crystal Dragon. Like, it's just such a good effect. It's so, like, this card's insane. And, like, it's quick effect, which is why I'm saying, like, you can use it on your opponent's turn when they're trying to Castell you or something. Next is double Kaijus. So the reason I'm playing 2 kaijus is because when I tribute my opponent's monster, I can put this card anywhere on their side of the field, and then I can basically use this to set the columns for myself, special summon monsters, get rid of a problem card like ABC, Minerva, Azark, Time Star. Like, it just gets rid of so much. You can get rid of Totally Awesome, Infinity. It gets rid of everything, and then sets up my columns. Next is Triple Crimson Lotus. So this card is really just like, it just gets rid of problem monsters really quickly. It has 2,300 attack, so it's kind of muscly. And like I said, it just gets over monsters. It has a banish effect, so like as long as I don't have anything in my grave, it is difficult to use. But as you guys can see from the videos, or well, from the replays, I always do have something in my grave for this effect. So it's always live for me, because I'm just playing this deck pretty efficiently. So, again, another reason why you don't want to go first, because it makes the deck so much harder to play. You always want to be second with this deck all the time. Next is Triple Yellow Bloom. So this is basically Crimson Lotus for back row. Again, really good. You special summon this and destroy their back row. If they don't activate it, then they don't activate it, and you get around a problem like a strike, a D barrier. Like, you can get around Mirror Force, which, like, board wipes are definitely a problem this deck will have, because they don't really have protection. Next is 1 Green Heights. This is just, like, so I have the 6 Jack Knights for, the field spell. But also, it has an effect that when it attacks, you can take a Jack Knight and put it in your hand, so it's not a terrible effect, but you only want 1, definitely. Next is 3 Flickering Flame. This card is, like I said before, it's so good. It's crazy. You destroy a monster that's in the same column as this, and special summon a Jack Knight from your hand. It's awesome. Finally, 3 Blue Sky, the best card for Jack Knight. So, when special summoned, you take Jack Knights in your hand from your deck and add them to your hand equal to how many cards in the same column as Blue Sky. Really simple. You search 2 cards. Gofu is for the Decode Engine. 3 Terraforming because the field spell's awesome. 2 Twin Twister to put my Jacks in the grave. Brilliant Fusion's good because it plus Seraphonite can make 2 columns on the field live. So it's such a good card. Key to the World Legacy's good. It's just negates traps, puts the card back in your hand. Good card. Field spell I already explained. D barrier because like it's D barrier. It just negates stuff. It stops problems. Triple of True Deaths because this card's just insane. It's such a good card. There's no arguing it. It's just insanely good. 1 Dante. You don't really go into the extra deck that much. That's why I didn't even bother to finish it. As you can see, there's only 13. But 1 Dante because I'm playing a Beatrice. You can go to Beatrice easy. A Seraphonite, of course. Big Eye because you have enough level 7s. Verilo Dragon. Topologic Dragon. 2 Jack Knight of the World Remain. So this card, it cannot be destroyed or targeted with card effects if it does not point to a card. It points down, left, and right. So it's just it's such a good card. It can attack directly if it doesn't point to anything, and if it does point to anything, it can send that card to the grave, special summon a Jack Knight anywhere on your field in defense. So it's really good. Then there's the Decode I explained and the Gaia Saber. Akashic Magician, I don't really like this card, but if you have 2 Psychics Light, which whole deck is, you can just summon it, bounce a card, Proxy Dragon, and Code Talker. Finally, there's 3 Whisper of the World Legacy, because I wanted to show you, this card's bad. It's this one I was talking about before. It only does plus 1,000 attack to a Jack Knight, so it's not that good, and it's just too slow. So if you guys like this video, make sure to look in the description, and we can like the video and subscribe to me on YouTube. Also in the description below, you can find my Discord, so you can join the official Garo Gaming Discord, which I officially set up, my Facebook page, and my Twitch. So make sure to give all that stuff a like and subscribe, and join the Discord. See you guys next time.